Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to the class of 2020-2021 Hooding Ceremony for our Master of Science in Nutrition graduates. Today is a day of celebration, and it is particularly gratifying for me to be able to welcome those whose successes we are celebrating today. At this time, I'd like to recognize the faculty and staff who have taught, advised, and mentored our master's candidates. Please stand as I call your names. Our nutrition faculty, Rachel Finley, Dr. Becca Hagedorn, Dr. Lene Hood, Dr. Bill Landis, and Dr. Jennifer McMillan, and our graduate program director and admissions counselor, Tracy Smith. Thanks to all of you. As Dean of the school, I speak for the entire faculty as we express our appreciation for the presence of the many special people at the ceremony, family, friends, peers, and mentors who have helped our graduates along the way. Thank you for your unwavering support. And to our graduates, you've distinguished yourselves through academic challenge, service, and leadership. Everyone here has met and overcome obstacles. Each faced different challenges, and each met them in different ways. The members of the faculty had the pleasure to observe your collective talents unfold throughout your program of study, and we want each of you to know how very proud we are of you. We commend each of you for your continued dedication, persistence, hard work, and professionalism, traits we recognize in you. We are proud of you and applaud the energy, enthusiasm, commitment, and contributions you have already made and will continue to make as you head toward new paths and meet new challenges in the future. Thank you. I now recognize the 2019-2000 graduate speaker, Emmeline Whidbey, followed by our 2020-2021 graduate speaker, Ron Harding.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Emmeline Whidbey, a graduate of the class of 2020, and I'm really grateful to be back here today on campus with friends and faculty for the first time in over a year. Thank you to the class of 2021 for welcoming us to share this hooding ceremony with you today. And to everyone who can't be here in person today, graduates and loved ones, we feel you here with us. I imagine that life after graduate school always has its share of the unexpected. Diving into new opportunities and new roles always takes patience, perseverance, and a lot of adapting. 2020, of course, was the year of all years for the unexpected and required more of those skills from us than we ever imagined. So, class of 2020, no matter where you are now, compared to where you thought you might be, you are stronger and more resilient than you know. And making it through this past year, however you have, is an achievement. The pandemic has taken a lot from us, but today we're here to celebrate something that it can't take from us. Our master's degree, our education. It is a privilege, and we worked really hard for it. We have built a foundation of knowledge, experiences, and relationships, and these will help us find our path and help us reach our goals. Whether it goes exactly as planned or not, we have all realized is not exactly within our control. But once again, we are strong and we are resilient. Like many of us, my career path hasn't always been clear or predictable. I worked a variety of jobs after college, but the most formative one was working with the WIC program, a supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children. There I developed a passion for public health and supporting families, but I wanted to be able to do more. That's when I chose to come to graduate school at Meredith to pursue my master's in nutrition with an emphasis in community food security. During my time here, I learned that you cannot talk about issues of food insecurity without diving into the complex web of poverty and its many causes and many consequences. I then graduated in the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, which worsened and illuminated these issues in our community. Fast forward a year later, and I'm currently working for a local nonprofit, Durham's Partnership for Children. I work in the Early Head Start program as a family services coordinator. I partner with low-income families to connect them to resources to support their needs and goals around health, education, and family well-being. I bring my background in community food security to this role, and I get to learn so much more. And so while job searching in the beginning of the pandemic was stressful and discouraging at times, I ended up in another rewarding learning experience. And I've grown to think that's ideal, really, to find a role that allows you to use your strengths and skills and makes you step outside of your comfort zone a little. Because every new experience and every new person we meet is an opportunity to learn. For some of us, this may be our last time in formal school, our last time wearing a cap and gown. Others may continue to pursue another degree, and many, of course, have their dietetic internship ahead or almost finished. No matter where this next year takes you, and the next, no matter your field or interests, I hope you never stop learning, putting your passions to work, and growing stronger with every step. Thank you.
Well, class of 2021, we did it. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. When I was first asked to speak on behalf of class 2021, I must admit I was a bit apprehensive. My first thought was, well, what could I honestly say? I spent weeks thinking on this question. How could I sum the last 2 years? How could I best envelop all we've been through in our personal, academic, and professional lives into 3 minutes? And the best I could come up with is, we're here. We're still here, and we made it. And while I could stop there, I couldn't help but think of everyone in our lives who have helped carry us to this point. Mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, children, grandparents, loved ones, and friends. All of you here today, and those watching at home, deserve our most heartfelt gratitude for the very important parts you have played in our lives. So please give yourselves a round of applause also for all you've done for us. I was asked to speak about my journey up to this point, about how a kid from the east side of Houma, Louisiana traveled halfway around the world and back to be standing here today. I could talk about being an Iraqi war veteran and first-generation college graduate, but this moment isn't just about me, it's about all of us. It's about Kimberly making her parents proud by being the first in her family to graduate with a master's degree. It's about Kira coming to Meredith with 2 bachelor degrees while flourishing and finishing this program as a new mother. And Elizabeth, I know and have met some of the toughest people on the planet, but I don't think many could have stood in your shoes and faced what you faced and walked your path to be here today. To Jessica and Ariel, seeing you both overcome such tough obstacles over the last 2 years while still finding space for joy and happiness has helped carry me forward at my lowest of times, so thank you. And that's not even half of what I want to tell those I've developed friendships with. I say that to say that we've all had quite the journey to get here. We all have a story worth telling. Something that we all share as part of our story is the COVID-19 pandemic. For many of us, it will be one of the defining moments of our time. And though I'm sure we're all grateful to be alive today, I couldn't help but think of those who are not here to share and celebrate this moment with us. Mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, children, grandparents, loved ones, and friends. With their absence so heavy in our mind, I couldn't help but think of legacy. There's so much weight in that. Every one of us graduating will go on to make positive change in the world, to create legacies of our own, full of good deeds while contributing to the betterment of the public good, public health, and society at large. But we must remember that we're all a part of the legacy of those that are sitting beside us and those that have come before us. We owe it to the present and future generations to be the best versions of ourselves that we could be while doing the greatest good that we can when given the opportunity. So I think it's fitting to conclude with this. We did it, class of 2021 and class of 2019 and 2020. We're finished. Celebrate this achievement, for this is no easy accomplishment. Trust me, I know, I was there with you. But do remember there's a world out there in need of our help, and though our time here is ended, our work and obligation to helping create a better tomorrow begins now. Be good with your intentions, be excellent with your actions, and always do right by the most vulnerable amongst us. Thank you.
Thank you, Emmeline and Ron. Good afternoon. My name is Bill Landis. I'm a faculty member in Food Nutrition Program. It's wonderful to see all of you here today, not on Zoom, but in person, to commemorate the completion of the Master of Science degree in nutrition for the class of 2020 and 21. On behalf of the food nutrition faculty and staff, I'd like to offer our congratulations and a job well done. A few calculations inform me that you've spent about 500 hours in class, and many times that's studying and working on assignments, hundreds of hours gathering work experience and volunteering, and incalculable quantities of stress. You've devoted 2 more years of your life to this program. You've earned this degree, you've earned this hood and this moment. We are so proud of you. A recent turn of events in my life had left me pondering my future. I mentioned to a friend that I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, which I described rather gloomily as the last chapter. She looked at me with an astonished and slightly pitiable expression. Last chapter? So I should pause here for a moment and mention that I really am overall a positive person, but somewhere in the basement of my character, I possess a Woody Allen-like pessimism. If I board a plane, I'm assuming there is a pretty good chance of it going down and will prepare myself accordingly. If I vacation near a volcano, I'll keep one ear tuned to the first rumblings of an impending eruption and the flow of hot ash and lava that will be racing down the mountain after me. When rooting for my sport teams, I take the position, expect the worst and hope for the best. As a lifelong New York Giants football fan, this perspective has come in handy in recent years. Bill, my friend said to me, this is not the last chapter of your life. You have so many more yet to go. She's absolutely right, of course. I had created my book of life based on years, an arbitrary division of my lifespan into 3 parts. First 30 years, the middle, and the last 30, give or take a few. I was partitioning my life like I was in Dr. Macmillan's research methods course. Our personal and professional lives are not a research project. They're not a government report, but more like a novel with many small stories captured in many chapters. So I'm here to remind you that you're not finished. Your story has so many more chapters to come. The plot line is just beginning. It's just now starting to get interesting. Some of your chapters will write themselves. Most of them you'll author. You're finishing one today, and you'll start one tomorrow. This degree, the knowledge and skills you possess, the friends you've made, what you've accomplished here at Meredith, professionally, you are set up for many fantastic chapters in your lifetime. You're ready. It wouldn't be a graduation speech if I didn't leave you with an inspiring quote from someone famous to take with you on your life's journey. The words I have for you today come not from a person, but from a magazine. Some of you may have seen the film The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, based on the short story by James Thurber. The most recent version stars Ben Stiller and other Hollywood notables. Walter, the main character, is a single middle-aged man who lives a predictable and monotonous existence, going to work every day and returning home to a small apartment in New York City. He works for Life magazine, and this shy, unadventurous man finds himself in the position of tracking down the lost negative of the photograph that'll be the cover of the very last issue. His search takes him across the globe, where he is forced out of his comfort zone, finds courage that he never thought he had, learns to love, and discovers life as if for the first time. By the way, he finally finds the missing photo, but you'll have to watch the movie to find out where it was the whole time. Life magazine's motto is a prominent element in the film and captures Walter's personal transformation. I hope someday it may do the same for you. So I leave you with the motto of Life magazine: to see the world, things dangerous to come to see behind walls, to draw closer, to find each other, and to feel. That is the purpose of life. Congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Landis. Will the candidates for Master of Science in Nutrition class of 2020 please stand and walk to the stage? I'm Tracy Smith, Director of the Graduate Program at Meredith. I also have the distinct pleasure of working as the admissions counselor and program manager for the last several years, which means I get to meet these lovely people many months and sometimes even years before they start in our rigorous program. For those of you who don't know, there are about 300 prerequisites that they need to do. That's an exaggeration, but it's a lot. And they must do very well in these courses to become accepted. Needless to say, it's a lot of work beforehand, and once in the program, the hard work doesn't stop. But each and every one of these students persevered, they met the challenge, and they did so successfully. I might add, all during a worldwide pandemic. The food and nutrition faculty is very proud of each and every one of them. One of the things that separates the earning of the master's degree from the ceremony of a bachelor's degree is the donning of the hoods. We will now proceed with our Master's of Science hooding ceremony. When each student comes up for the adornment of the hood, I will read the graduate's name and then the name of their loved one who will do the hooding. So will the loved ones please stand for the class of 2020? Get in line behind over here. Y'all ready? You ready? Okay. After you get your hood, you can proceed to get your photo taken, okay? All right. Our first candidate, Kaylee Angela Beaver, being hooded by Michael Beaver. There you go. There you go. Vanessa Gofrani, hooded by Mehran Gofrani. Watch the cap. There you go. Good job. Quinn A. Griffin, hooded by Michael Patrick Griffin. Rachel Ann Jones, hooded by Brandon Jones. There you go. Yep. Mary Alexandria Hollis, hooded by Lee Hollis. Carrie Ann Leonard, hooded by Jackson Crane. Emmeline Sequoia Whitby, hooded by Kathy McMahon. Congratulations, class of 2020. Will the class of 2021 please rise and join us at the stage? And while we're waiting for them, I just want to recognize this special time of year. This ceremony comes on a weekend also dedicated to mothers. At this time, I would like all the mothers of the graduates to please stand. Stand. On behalf of the food and nutrition faculty here at Meredith College, thank you for raising such amazing humans, for teaching them an excellent work ethic, good study habits, how to be resilient and honorable, and to lead with integrity, and of course, the skill sets to understand the importance of reading the syllabus. So it is with our sincerest wish that each and every one of you celebrate your child's accomplishment and have a wonderful Mother's Day. Thank you. Will the hooders for the 2020-21 class please join us? Ready? Julia Ann Albini, hooded by Penny Albini. Katie Jeanette Barker, hooded by Noah Barker. Megan Scout Cameron, hooded by Charles Cameron. Jessica Barboza Campbell, hooded by Eddie Campbell. Kirsten Presley Capps, hooded by Michelle Walker. Abby Caudle Patton, hooded by Judy Caudle. Olivia Shea Chadwick, hooded by Rebecca Chadwick. Sabrina Chapel Strickland, hooded by James Strickland. Ariel Nicole Christian, hooded by Ruth Christian. Elizabeth Daughter Dixon, hooded by Richard Dillard Dixon III. Acer Caroline Drabick, hooded by Dr. Netta Drabick. Grace Daniel Garrett, hooded by Justin Garrett. Kimberly Joy Soon Mi Ha, hooded by Jonathan Ha. Ronald O'Neill Harding, hooded by Sarah Najelski. Brianna Camille Harrington, hooded by Michelle Harrington. Patricia Ann Hyde, hooded by Linnea Hyde. Emily Taylor Holloway, hooded by Angela Holloway. Kira Norris Marie Jennings, hooded by Eugene Ellsworth Jennings.
Perfect.
Jennifer Campbell Johnson, hooded by Tony Johnson. Jordan Christine King, hooded by Scott King. Yeah. Upside down. There you go. Great. Woo. Gunja Parikh, hooded by Bhargav Patel. Michelle Green Perry, hooded by Colin Perry. Avril Browerdink, hooded by Neil Browerdink. David Christopher Rudloff, hooded by Christine Rudloff. Andres Cristobal Salaberria, hooded by Rosa Salaberria. Anita Singh, hooded by Betty Fishback. Annie Mitchell Swigert, hooded by Robbie Mitchell. Kendall Elizabeth Williams, hooded by Jennifer Williams. Congratulations, class of 2021. So some final thoughts to you recent graduates. As Dr. McMillan always says, you are all now masters in your chosen field of study. And according to the U.S. Census Bureau's latest findings, only about 13.1% of adults in the U.S. hold advanced degrees. And think about it, you all are going to represent an even smaller percentage because a Master in Science and Nutrition is a very specific and sought-after credential. So not only are you part of a very elite group, but you also get to be asked to make a diet plan for your friends and your loved ones for the rest of your natural-born lives. That's okay. Y'all will be great at that. We have no doubt that you will serve them and our field of nutrition well. Our ceremony has come to an end, but for the last time, will the Meredith College Master of Science in Nutrition graduates for the classes of 2020 and 2021 please stand? Since we cannot have traditional music streaming, I was going to ask you all to hum Pomp and Circumstance, but we won't do that. But please join me in another round of applause while our students make their way out.